So I hope a kind of emotional power. And you listening to you, it was very odd for me, even though I know what happens in the end. I found myself completely riveted listening to you because I thought it was as if it was a story on a different level and in a different form.
That's good. Let me ask you, as a member, as a journalist, a commentator, a historian, but also a member of the Jewish community, was that element of the story something that just came to you because it was close to hand and easily accessible, or do you think this novel is performing a different and important function to raise these issues?
Well, it's interesting because I definitely think you shouldn't write a book in order to sort of make some political point. And there's this whole, we were talking, I think, before about how my father's a journalist and also in his writing career, a Hollywood biography. He writes biographies of movie stars, and he wrote this very good biography of the Warner brothers, the four brothers who founded the Warner Studios. And there's a story of one of them, Harry Warner, saying, to a director who wanted to make a very political movie, making lots of points. He said, if you want to send messages, use Western Union, send a telegram, don't use a movie. And so I think that's true with books like this. You can't do them to make a point. That said, I was probably alert to this thing about eugenics in a way when I first came across the idea, which was when I was a student at Oxford, actually. So the setting of the novel came very naturally. But I was taught there by someone who had written a paper on particularly the figures of the left in the 30s and 20s and their affinity for eugenics. Now, a lot of people would have found that interesting. I think probably, just to get to the point you were raising, being Jewish, I had a sort of heightened sensitivity to that because anything which gets you into that territory of Nazis and their attitudes to race and genetics and superior, inferior, Jews have a stake in that subject given our history.